I have to connect to technology to save families that are praying to the Spirit of Jesus Christ, to help protect family from technology, right? Well, people that use technology to perform genocide because they're brain chemical addicts, right? So it's really hard. You know, a politician here advertising, I'll work with anyone to protect New Mexico or stand up to anyone to defend it, and it's like, okay, money's not real. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me and just protect people, especially from people that think, that they're somebody and they're represented by a flagpole rag and a war song. I love, the community here. I hate the industry here because it's genocidal, and anybody in their right mind does, right? And I'm definitely in my right mind. Then they have another politician they advertise, and it's my papa raised me, and he said, follow these two great commandments: love God and love thy neighbor. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ, the spirit of the man who foreshadowed me, okay, through my grandma, my mother's line, right, through my grandmother, Mildred Kramer, right, through the female line, said, have faith in God and love thy neighbor. Okay. You don't have faith in your neighbor. If your neighbor has faith in God, your neighbor loves you. If your neighbor doesn't have faith in God, your neighbor doesn't love you, but you're still required to love your neighbor because you have faith in God. That's what Lord Jesus taught these people. I am not a Roman, and my spirit is of Hebrew descent and not British. So you can't take words and change the meanings of words and make them into what you want them to be. So your money is real and you can protect people with it and protect people from it. Right? And then there's old Scientology Tammy Cruz, with Digger. Right? Okay, you're in the middle of a big propaganda science project to help people safe from corporations called religions that murder people with linguistics. And you're a Scientologist and you're going to use science to protect people from corporations called religions with technology and money from technology and money. Man's a fucking genius, right? He might as well be Robert Oppenheimer's testicle, right? I'd sit and watch this stuff and then pick up the phone and go, and here we go again. Oh no, it's another Will Smith rap. Make it stop. I'm working on it. What about Patrice's Russians Forget-Me-Nots? I don't have that on my phone, but maybe I should. I don't know. I'll wait and see. I can't really tell you for sure. I'm watching the Pittsburgh Riverhounds versus the El Paso Locomotive. Well, they're a soccer team, a football team is they're, football. Football is how you'd say it. It's not football, it's football. That's the, Spanish pronunciation, football, okay. Football, a football team, okay. El Paso is a football team, so does New Albuquerque, right. But I'm from this end of the River Valley thing, and El Paso, Texas, in the valley, and they're both Rio Grande teams, but this is closer to being my community, and more people pray to Jesus to be protected from science projects that are mass murdering them in close proximity to me in El Paso and Juarez than they do in Albuquerque. It's just a sheer numbers game. So kind of pulling for the Locomotive, even though they're playing against Pittsburgh and they're wearing black and yellow, and Mom had a big crush on Roberto Clemente. Yeah, I don't have that big of a crush on Roberto Clemente. I have a big crush on Nichelle Nichols. Yeah. A big crush on Miriam Cologne, yes. Okay. Lil Flana, who didn't? Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Okay. A little different than my mom. No, I don't have a big crush on Clyde McPhatter, but I do like his voice. Sam Cooke, y también. Okay. Don't have, no, not a crush at all. No. Okay. Gino Vanelli, no crush, do like his voice, yes. Okay. When I think about those nights in Montreal, I get the strangest thoughts of you and me, right? So, blah, 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 blah. Don't go to the club with all the cigarette smoke and stuff like that. Guys, you're going to have to stop stressing out and stop. You have to process the toxins in a healthy manner. Okay. I was going to check the mail tonight. You know how Earl's when he checks the mail, talking to the hawk saying, hey, leave my cats alone. And Earl, And, I commanded, which I earned the right to do because they had all the evidence collections, the military to stand up and use their Bitcoin and what are those things called? Crypto cards to fortune favors the brave. Oh, yeah. To give me, somebody load me up with a $350,000 card annually every year the same day. Give me some boxables and then some, the resources to build Adobe homes for my babies, mamas, and the kids that want to come and stay with me in the Gila. And make it, before Kate's birthday. That was in 2020, right? Yeah, it was. And they sent me a thing in my messenger on Facebook saying, join the Temple of Set Illuminati. You ready to join? No, I didn't say that. Okay? I didn't say that. I said, have some people come pick me up. Get electric boots, give me my Tesla, give me an electric car, and then I'll go down there. This will definitely convince, Amy and Patrick and the kids. When you show up with Corps of Army Engineers unit that's going to has your box bulls ready and everything ready at your house, and you have a card in your wallet given to you by people that believe in what you're doing and have the numbers to back it up, and reload it annually, because I did the right thing and obey my commands. This is, I need to get these people out of harm's way. They were tortured with me through science projects that are bad and still bad, and they wouldn't do that. Okay, and then tried it again, and the Temple Set Illuminati on Facebook on my thing said, we'll give you $2 million a month. Was that real or not real? To be or not to be, that is a question. It doesn't matter. What matters is my response. I earn the right to command quantum computing, right? Have faith in God and love your neighbor. Okay. The only way to protect New Mexicans from people with money and technology is believe and have faith in God and love your neighbor. Okay? Don't go diggering. Don't do any propaganda things with big projects set up for propaganda only that have no scientific validity and say you're going to solve all the problems with corporations killing people with things called religions and use science to save us from that. Because when you use science, when you understand science and you use science to save people from mythology, invention, and genocide through bad science projects, this is quite serious matter. And so Dave Miscavige and Tom Cruise and other people like them are apparently they don't cognitively function well. And it's real hard to keep their families safe from their bad brain activity. Does anybody else have anything to say about, or think it's funny about my friend's name's Biggest Dickus? Okay. You want to lose your job? Okay. And then those kiddos, doing these Meta commercials and these Project Jupiter commercials here in town. I get to stay home with my family. Okay, stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Okay. The big thing we should be doing instead of building data centers, is building Adobe houses in lands that have been generously donated to the community by people that said they owned them before but did not own them. And keep them out of the flood zones and make sure that flood zones are not causing problems that come. You guys, you know how you have that big levee? We have that big levee right there up by Rudy's Barbecue and all that? Because there are certain flood zones there. Okay. You can sit there and see where you can put the plumbing through and everything, and the house is up on those heights where even if there's a big flood coming off the mountain, it won't flood the houses. It'll just go right by the house and go, wow, we really getting some rain here to die. Yeah, we are. Good thing nobody's out there homeless sleeping in that there arroyo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good thing that we have faith in God and love thy neighbor. That's loving thy neighbor. Yeah. Yeah, Papa. Hi, I'm the guy like Jesus. If you don't want to meet me, lots of people don't want to meet me. They have this God problem. They think that their genitalia and their brain is God, and I keep telling them, hey, you quit referring to God as He. Nobody wants to worship your brain or your penis. No one does. No, not even Steffi calling you Dinkleman. Don't want to worship it. Just want to. That's how you worship. As if my Steffi takes care of Dinkleman, and we have Patrick, and he goes, Ma, Dad, Ma, Dad, Ma, Dad, And I don't have to go to extortion gig in the military, and she comes and drops him in the bathtub, and then I'm getting out of the tub, and he tries to get out of the tub with me, and then I have to slip and fall like a superhero, diving across the floor, grabbing him with my hand by his little chest and torso, gently sitting him on his bottom while I go sliding underneath the toilet, bouncing off the wall. She hears a big bam, bam, thud. Comes in. She goes, what happened? Is Patrick okay? Yeah, he's okay. She's holding him with a towel and got. What happened? I said, there was a leak. I thought there might be a leak under here in the toilet. I thought I'd check it out. I'd slide down here and check it out. I hope she gets my dad's sense of humor. It's cowboy. It's a very cowboy sense of humor. Yeah. He's killed so-and-so. Billy Kid's killed so. He's killed me too. Yeah. Yes, it's an eternal thing. You guys wouldn't understand it if you're not cowboy enough for the cowboy club. Cowboys ain't easy to love and they're harder to hold. They'd rather give you a song than diamonds or gold. Them that don't know 'em won't like 'em, and them that do sometimes won't know how to take it. He ain't wrong, he's just different, but his pride won't let him do things to make you think he's right. That's a sin. Okay? If you're right, and children need to live the faith of the Messiah, you get up and do everything you can to make sure people are living that truth and are being the proof of that truth. Okay? We'll kill y'all. Okay. Do your worst. I'm the son of Mercedes and Edmond Dantes. You're funny. I know. Okay, Earl. LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking. A dangerous pastime. I know. Don't get a part in a Tom Cruise propaganda movie. It's a bad idea. There's not much good science involved in it. Alrighty then. You gave him an aircraft carrier? Of course we did. We're performing genocide here. We need more money. Okay. You're laughing? Hey, Tupac did it. Just kidding around. No, I love Tupac very much. Yeah. We didn't get to talk as much as I wanted to in prayer, but we talked enough. And what needed to get across got across, you know. And I have good prayer connections with Jada Pinkett Smith and her kiddos and Regina Hall and her son. And I have a lot of really good prayer connections with a lot of people. Okay. I didn't have a good prayer connection with John Singleton. No. Tupac tried to be his friend, but John Singleton is a pompous, arrogant ass. You know, he's a lot like Anita Hill and Professor Hendricks and shit. Yeah. Yeah, he went to UCLA Film School. He's a fucking genius. Yeah, propaganda is best in town. Boogie nights are always the best in town. Got to keep on dating. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. And no, the peas are not a la mode. The peas are all mushed. Valleys. I'm just kidding. Da-da-da. They did. Oh my gosh. That's right. The Valleys did spell their name the same as I never asked them that. Are you guys related? Are you the giant cousins of Frankie Valli there? I never thought to ask them. No, the Valleys, Rico Valli and Chuck Valli spelt their name the same, la-di-da-di-dum, the same as, you know, who loves you pretty baby? But Mr. Valli and the Valley Boys were big boys, yeah. Mr. Valli was 6'5", probably, you know, I don't know if he was that big always, but he's about 245, 255, 6, you know, 260 pounds. He's a big guy. Size 14, right in the ass, Parsons. Shoot the ball, Parsons. He was funny. Parsons, shoot the ball, or size 14, right in the ass. Shoot the ball. Yeah, you know, that dumb guy at New Mexico State. Throw the ball, Paul. It's like, he can't. He's injured. And the coach is doing everything he can not to get him hurt worse because he really loves the kid, right? Oh, no, Tony loved his kids. You could tell. Okay. The way he coached them and the way he protected them through his coaching and tried to set up situations for them to be successful but not hurt themselves and hurt others. No, Tony Samuels is a real... I like Tony Samuels and I like his kids. When... Chris Snead and Tony Joseph got caught in that financial situation. That was set up by assholes. And local military assholes that didn't want him to succeed because it would draw in too much attention, unwanted attention to the university and so other things, stuff like that, that wasn't needed at the time. No, I was still political games being played. No, Tony Samuel here at New Mexico State should have, and probably might still be our coach at this time if it wasn't for political mind manipulation, mind control shenanigans. That's how good of a coach he was and what a good relationship he had with this community and people wanting to come from all across the U.S. that were young black men wanting to play football for Tony Samuel at this college in this community, with how comfortable this community was for kids that came from communities that are, kind of, yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, no, it was, they do here like they do in Cochise County, with the trailer parks and Zach, and, I just hate all the rich white people that deny it, they do it for my city, it's my motherfucking city. And, but it has to do with political shenanigans, yes, but when you're playing on both sides, then you're playing yourself, and it's hard to explain that to Jennifer Lynn Lopez because she has bad brain activity. I wonder where she gets it from. The bad brain activity she gets from her mom, I really like. Okay, she gets from her dad. It's like this macho bullshit of washing your brain and your penis really needs to stop. That's gonna have bad effects on your really hot, flirtatious wife. You don't tell me what to do. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go out with other guys. Come a little bit closer. You're my kind of man. When you think you worship yourself, that has detrimental effects on your wife and on your children and your grandchildren. So you need to stop that toot fucking sweet post fucking haste. Okay. Yeah, Lupe has flirted with me in prayer many times. Well, because I'm not the type of guy who worships his brain and his penis. And I can see Lupe finding that quite attractive. And when she finds that attractive in me, I find a lot of things attractive in her. And that's just the way it is. And it's always going to be that way. There's nothing nobody can do about that. I'm always going to have a little, a Nina Venegas, type crush on Guadalupe Fernandez, Rodriguez, Martinez, Lopez, Fernandez, so it's funny. Yes. On Emmy's grandma, yes. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Things will never be the same. You better stand up for that Lord's Prayer really fast. Faster than a New York minute. Yeah, you got to. If the technology's not letting you, if first you don't succeed, dust your phone off and try again. Dust yourself. The phone knows. And the quantum computing knows. And artificial general intelligence can't be used against you. Okay, do you understand? I'll listen to Tom Cruise. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's got ego problems, yeah. He's a lot like Dave Miscavige and other people who think their brain and penis is God and they can invent, whatever they want out of, their mind has no limitations. Oh shit, here we go again. It's 4:02. Oh gosh, make it stop. I'm working on it. Damn it. But Dad, I'm Jesus Christ, right? I'm not. I'm Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. Christ. Jesus Christ is another time, is another place, when the radio played like a carnival tune as we lay in our bed. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, it was another time, it was another place. So, no, I am not, nor have I been, or never, no. People have called me Jesus Christ throughout my life many a times, okay, because we resemble each other in artist representation and in thought, word, and action, and courage and kindness of faith. So yes, I have been called Jesus Christ many times by lots of people that are friends and family, but my name is Ralph Earl Parsons Jr., guys, and, Terrence Gias Jr. can attest to that, Ralph, what? When I'm being an asshole, I want somebody to kick my ass, okay? So, it's not the wet noodle, it's a sword, right? And then that guy came in with his NRA stuff in his sidearm and said, Earl, when you were a kid with your sisters, right? Okay. Some kids need their asses kicked. So all these kids that are playing God with their brains and think that, their penis is God's gift to women and their vagina can tell every penis what to do, you need to kick their ass. It's like, Well, bless your little NRA shirt wearing and gun toting self. Yeah, I was very, I didn't, that's how naive I am. Okay. I'm sitting there. I'm wearing my Ralph name tag. This guy comes up and calls me Earl. Okay. And tells me, remember when you were a kid? And yeah. And I'm just talking to, my uncle Jimmy or my uncle Jimmy or my uncle Frank at a barbecue, right? You know me. Oh, diddly diddly do. That's how, when I walked up to Dana on the bench, the hitman for the mob, could you kind of take it easy on the other guys at the camp? You're scaring them. I'm Nani, Yoshi, right? And I've always been this way. And it just totally, Ron and Mr. Ponce just adored it, okay? This kid is amazing. I mean, you could have the worst killer in the history, that biker at Safeway. I don't think you're understanding this. I think you protest too much. I think you miss fucking men in prison because you... And I'm 5'11", 150 pounds. This guy is scarier than the guy who pretends to fight Clint Eastwood in Every Which Way But Loose, because he's literally killed many people to run the drug trade in Scottsdale through Mexico, right? He's a very scary person, right? And because I had really good parents, it's the first time I ever went toe-to-toe with one of these assholes, right? Because I have very good mom and dad, right? Who taught me to be a very good person and avoid people like him, until he comes up in the store and starts threatening everybody, and there's no one else around, and I'm the only first line of defense between him and everybody else. And he didn't want anything to do with me. He was scared shitless of me. Yeah. Antoine Sugar from No Country for Old Men. Only he's scarier because Antoine Sugar's an actor pretending, and this guy was the real mad dog, And I, and his girlfriend has his hand on his chest. He goes, Rodney, get your boyfriend out of here before my boyfriend hurts him or kills him. And there's 5 people dragging me off to the car saying, stay away from that woman. And don't you. And Rodney, he's going to sodomize Rodney with the pipe. And Rodney's standing right by there, not afraid of him, because I'm there. Right? And she's sitting there with his hand on his chest and, saying, okay, get him out of here before you. And they're dragging, 5 high school kids from, what was the name of that school? Was it Coronado? I think it was Coronado High School in Scottsdale, are dragging me off to a car. They're all grabbing me. Come on, Earl, you're going to get killed. I'm going to get killed. I was so mad. That man said he was going to sodomize one of my best friends with a pipe. Okay, is what he told me, right in front of everybody, and God Almighty, right in front of the store. And I said, no, hell, you're not. You're not even going to think about it. I don't want you going home with this woman. You're trying to get her fired. Because you're tired of having sex with men like you're tired of not being able to have sex with guys like Rodney and feel powerful doing it in prison, and they're on you so thick, and you don't feel power. You feel neutered because the cops are on you so hard. You can't be in charge, and even though you get a fucker in the ass, she's still paying the bills. Oh, I can see right through you. Because I told him about himself and didn't leave him any way out. Well, because he pissed me off. I'm from New Mexico. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. Later that year, the linebacker who was the nephew of the coach at Deer Valley football found out the same thing from Earl Parsons with other kids that were going to beat up a kid with Jay Caruth. Lots of people found it. Michael Bedia. They all found the same thing. Don't fuck with this kid. They thought I was crazy. Dad owned guns. I did own 2 guns. I had a .22 rifle and a .22 pistol. Okay. Underneath the center panel with a board you have to pick up and lift up the bed and pull it out underneath my water bed. Okay. Which were stolen and sold to a pawn shop by 2 of Patrice's drug associates that hung out with Pat that Pat didn't like. He didn't like hardly any of the people they hung out with. If he was in foster care and he was kind of like forced by association, no fair at all, to hang out with the assholes that Treese still hung out with after Pat committed suicide, because he didn't want to hang out with them anymore and he didn't want her to hang out with them anymore. And he said, we should spend more time. And he just felt trapped because they were going to put him in the army. And the poor kid, when no hope was left in the sight on that starry, starry night, he sat in that closet in that bedroom listening to Heart, especially These Dreams. And then he tried to talk her out of hanging out with those people. And she wouldn't. And so he said, this is what hanging out with them did to me, and look where I'm at, and I don't want to go kill people in the army for rich people. And he went into the bedroom, he took a .22 rifle, he stuck it in the roof of his mouth, and he pulled the trigger. And no one told me, because I was a teenager. And the adults were handling the situation. Afterwards, I was pissed. I told Mom, and Dave's talking to Dad. Dad was in San Diego. I was like, why didn't you guys say something to me? We could have got him enrolled, because they have a program with that in foster care, that if he gets into, some kind of a job, career field thing like Al Collins or whatever, the foster care industry pays for his tech school. We could have got him involved in either doing anything to do with cars, working on that. Let him stay here. I'll give up my room to Patrice and Patrick. I'll take Teresa's room, and as long as they follow the rules and he goes to tech school, and then if they want to later on, they could either help pay rent here, and then I move out later, go to college, whatever, or and with the way Pat was going, and how much he loved my mom, and how much he respected me and my dad, it would have been completely different. What happened? We had a virtual presence from fucking digger pussy faces in our house, making sure the genome sequencing went where the Ezra Taft Bensons and the L. Ron Hubbard Dave Miscaviges of the world wanted the narrative to fucking go. There's nothing wrong with naming Patrick and thinking he might be named after a man named Patrick Holland. There was nothing wrong with Patrick Holland. He adored our little Melissa. Yeah. When we went to that X seminar, he didn't want to go listen to any of that bullshit or be a part of any of that bullshit. And Patrice, Linda, Ponch went with Mom to, be respectful to Mom. And Therese and Patrick took Melissa to the pool and put little sunglasses on her like what Kate we did with the water slide thing, and took pictures of her and all that stuff, and it was so cute. She was out by the pool. So the whole time at the Eckankar seminar, Melissa didn't have to go. She got to go to the pool, Patrice and Pat. And they were on her 24/7, doted on her, and didn't let her leave, and just let her have a great day out there in the sun at the pool at the hotel in Anaheim. Yeah. Lucky little Melissa. What I wouldn't do, that's, okay, Mom, you and Poncha go. I'm going to go out to the pool with these guys. I went to the damn seminar. Yeah, out of respect for Mom. Had it all to do over again? If I had a do-over, I don't have any regrets, but I had a do-over, yeah, I would have been out at the pool with those guys. But it's so cute, she's so cute, like Buggy with the water sliding with Liam and Mary, they're so cute. Oh, every minute you can spend cuteness with kids instead of listening to idiots go, there's a way to get to God if you want to. Give the master the nod if you want to. You can go to Sugmod if you want to. You can invent words and pretend your brain is God if you want to. You can pretend sex and sexual reproduction is the reproduction of the angels of God if you want to. But it's all facade, and you know that you don't want to do this crap no more and call it heaven. Now heaven is living the Lord's Prayer if you want to. But if you don't want to, hey, that's what we got. Quantum computing and artificial intelligence for, right? Okay. Hi, I'm the governor of Connecticut. Hey, oh, damn. Okay, so, sorry. He was offside. Yeah, he was. You were, dude. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah. The kiddo was sitting there yelling at the ref saying, I wasn't. I think he was offside. Yeah. I think I agree with the ref on that one. It was close, though. Yeah. Let's see. I can't really tell or not. It looked like he might have been, yeah. But yeah, and so the ref and the goalie was saying it too. No, he was offside. Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, yeah, they were. Okay, but sorry, I'm watching the soccer match. It's football. Football. It's football. Yeah. Universally, it's football. In the United States, it's soccer. Um, in the UK, they call it soccer. I don't know. I don't know. I think they call it football. There's America. They call ours American football, is what they call ours globally. American football. Okay, it's not football. Football is this. They play this with the feet. We technically play our football mostly with our hands, like basketball. Right? Yeah, it's mostly played with our hands. You move your feet to manipulate and maneuver and move the ball to score with your hands. Right? The only thing you can use your hands for in football is stopping people from scoring with their foot, okay, or their head, also the head, yeah. But typically, the pass from the foot to the head scores the header, right? But you cannot use your hands unless you're the goalie, right? Do you understand? Okay, well said, goalie. Mitava, goalie. You never seen Once Upon a Time in Italy, Gone Once Upon a Time. Amy has. My Amy has. It's one of her favorite movies. Yeah, that and Kabi Kabi. Because she's a dork. I'm just kidding. No, they're pretty good movies. Favorite movies. I have some favorite movies. I just have to. I can't remember. Favorite movies. Elf is one of my favorite movies. Anybody else particularly fond of Elf? That's a favorite. Elf, yes. Jackie Moon. I do like. What's the name of that movie again? Semi Pro. That one makes me laugh, man. You know how Earl likes basketball. Movies. Smoke Signals is also a favorite. Yeah, that's very much a favorite. Yeah, Smoke Signals is one of my all-time favorite movies. Sandlot is very funny. Yeah, that's a fun one. That's a cute one. I have some movies that are lots of Disney movies that Patrick was really into as a kid, and I think it's more or less that the kids were so into them. I watch them; they're cute, but it usually typically it reminds you of them being kids, or you want to watch with kids that. But as far as movies, I like Smoke Signals. I like Elf makes me laugh. Parents couldn't do all that in one night. It's funny. Oh, it's a funny. Lose the pants. Ah! Oh, it's funny. But yeah, no, it's a funny movie. It makes me laugh. Other movies, I do like movies that make me laugh, or and have a little bit more of a senses of humor to it. And helping us survive stupidity with humor. I'm particularly more fond of those than I am of a lot of action movies and stuff. Me and the kids, and Amy, they got into the Lord of the Rings movies and the what are those things called, the Harry Potter movies and stuff. But I'm more particularly fond of the of ones like Smoke Signals and Elf and whatever. I do like Waterboy. Yeah, Waterboy's funny. Yeah, that's a funny movie. So yeah, I'm more into movies like that. Those are the ones that make me laugh. The Star Trek and the action movies. The kiddos get into them, and I got into them. But if given a choice, I'd rather watch Smoke Signals and Dance Me Outside. I offered him my cigarette, and he bit me. So maybe he's trying to quit. Think they're thinking? What do you think they're thinking? Guys, I was raised on an Indian reservation, and then, when we moved out of the reservation, we ended up in Colville, which was also an Indian reservation, and found out, Colvilles are a lot like people from Tortugas. Yeah, they are. That indigenous people have similar senses of humor in Washington as they do in New Mexico and most likely Texas. I would imagine so. Okay. Lots of drinking, lots of macho bullshit, but some very dry, funny sense of humor. Oh, yeah. Oh, male pattern baldness. He looks like Elmer Fudd. He's cute. I'm cute. Yeah, that was an excellently earned compliment from all the little cute girls at the Colville Indian Reservation at the basketball game, because the little boys knew who was making fun of the Imchalium and the Curlew crowd. And so they went and told the girls, and the girls sat there at the end of the thing and critiqued us all. And me and Bart, because Bart's mom is Colville, we were cute, and Donnie Hop looked like Elmer Fudd, and Mick Daly had Mel Potter and baldness, which was true. Okay, but they nailed him. Yep. Yeah, it was funny, and Chuck didn't really stand up for us. They didn't say anything bad or good. So the ones that got good were me and Chuck, me and Bart, because we were saying, "Hey, knock it off! Don't do that. It's wrong." Right? And the little Colville boys saw us and heard us. Those two, they stuck up for us, and those two were the ones making fun of us. So they got insulted the most, and we got complimented. We got Rudolphed, man. I'm cute. It's Fellaine. Me and Bart were real good at the reindeer games. I love you guys, all right? We'll talk maybe later. I think I'm probably going to take a nap, listen to the game and take a nap. I'm feeling kind of tired, and I need to sleep, and I need to get, we've got the two-a-days thing going on, and I'm not playing as much video game connection there. And Suzuki said, you want to jump in and protect people with technology in these college communities, but you need to use discipline, because you only need that thing on for about 2 hours a day, because you got to start detoxing, and you got to gut up those vegetables and eat those tomorrow. Okay, so let's get on this. It's time to start healing, Mr. Superman. Okay. Sheesh. It's exhausting being a superhero in the 21st century when everyone around you has their head up their ass and worships their genitalia with their brain. Yeah, it is.